Good afternoon from Mr. and Mrs. Boyle from BMW and Porsche of Ocala. I'm Scotty, one of the BMW Porsche product geniuses. Allow me, first of all, to give you your first congratulations on your new Porsche Panamera. Now today, this little video right over here that we're going to be looking at is just going to be going over the basic delivery aspect of your car, since of course we won't be able to do it in person. So I thought I'd send you this video so you at least will have as close to the best in-person experience, but just all the way over there. Now, this car is absolutely gorgeous, of course finished in this burgundy. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, right now I have the key in my pocket, so we're going to go ahead and talk about some of the exterior aspects, the interior aspects, as well as setting some of the settings of this car. But I just wanted to just do a little walk around so you can see it in our dealership for the last few days that it's going to be here, or even last few hours that it could be here. Pretty cool stuff. Absolutely gorgeous, really sharp. But let's go ahead and get started. Now, right now I have the key on me, as we can see right over here. It's pretty nice and easy to operate. Of course, we have unlock and lock is right here, and then popping the trunk is right over here. Now, whenever you do an operation, the little Porsche logo flashes in red, as well as the car gets a little feedback. Pretty cool little thing there. And of course, our alarm button is way located on the back right over here. I won't activate that just for, of course, just audio reasons. And if I want to pop out the emergency key, it's actually just right over here. Just kind of dig your fingernail right in there and it pops right out. No problems at all. But I'm going to go ahead and stick that right back in my pocket because I don't even need to pull it out. But let's go ahead and start out with the driver's door. Actually, on all the doors, in order to unlock the car, all I got to do is just reach for the door handle right over here, and the car unlocks itself. Nice and easy. And of course, to lock the car, just touch this little divot right over here on any of the four doors, which is really nice. Now, right now, I actually already preset a lot of the settings for you on the car, so right now, just reaching for the driver's door unlocks all the doors, nice and easily. Now, we're going to go ahead and come over here to the trunk, because there's a few different ways to open up the trunk. Of course, we can use the key. We can give a little squeeze right to the left of the backup camera, which we see right over there. Or we can also give it a little kick with just a fast forward and back kick right over here. With the key on us, the taillights would flash, the trunk opens, and that's the comfort access right there. Pretty cool stuff. And of course, we come to the trunk, we see your carpeted floor mats here, front plate bracket, my goodness, tongue twister today, is right over there, nice and easy, and of course our little tie downs everywhere, no problems at all, and then of course to fold down the seats is no problem at all. Of course the privacy screen is right here, nice and easy. Now let's go ahead and close it back up. We can do that by either hitting the little unlock button right there, or the little close button right here, or this little guy would actually close the trunk, then lock the car if the engine wasn't on, like it is. But let's say this is opening up too high for your garage. What we do is we manually adjust this to the height that you wish, and then we go ahead and press and hold the button right here. And there's a little tone. Now, it's hard to hear over the video, but it lets you know that the height has now been saved to that. And of course, to close it, all I have to do is kick again, and it would actually close the car up. Pretty nice and easy stuff. Now, of course, gassing up the car is also very easy. As long as the car is unlocked, all we got to do is just give a nice little press right over here, and this pops open, no problems at all. Twist right over to the left, center right over here. And as this does say, 93 octane is definitely recommended right over there. Of course, at least 91 if you do have it over there, but if 93 is available, go ahead and please use that. And go ahead and just close that back up. Now, when the car is locked, the doors are locked. No problem at all, including the gas door. But let's go ahead and hop on inside. Now, I will be mentioning this multiple times throughout the video. We are going over just kind of the basic features of the vehicle. If you do want an in-depth explanation of anything and how it works on the vehicle, please contact us either by email, by phone call, anything like that. I'll be happy to do a more in-depth video on maybe one that we have in the lot, or just even to just do a little explanation over the phone, whatever you prefer. Now, as we come inside the car, we're greeted over here on the left-hand side with our door lock and unlock, of course, nice and easy, as well as our set memory keys right over here, which is also mirrored almost on the right-hand side. Instead, they have 3 as opposed to a little key symbol on the driver's side. We'll explain that in just a moment. Now, on the interior door handle, we have the switch to adjust left and right mirrors, as well as the little dial to actually adjust it, folding the mirrors via that little switch right there. Now, you might get a sneak peek of a really cool dude. Oh, look at that guy right there. Pretty cool guy right there. And then this little guy would just lock the rear windows right there. When you lock the rear windows, it also disables a lot of the functions in the rear. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If somebody's complaining that some of the operations back there, such as the heated seats or ventilation control, is not working, check and make sure those rear windows are not locked. Very important right there. Pretty cool. It's almost like not only is it a window lock, it's almost like a child safety lock and child function lock in the back. Of course, the window control, it work as you'd expect it. Just pressing a little bit. Goes down a little bit, and down all the way, goes down all the way in one motion. But if you notice something pretty cool, Porsche really thinks in detail about this. If I roll the windows up, you'll notice they go up at a certain speed, but once they reach the top, they slow down. Actually helps eliminate wind buffeting when you're raising them back up at high speeds. Pretty neat stuff. Same thing for the rear windows right over there. And of course, pop the rear trunk. I can also lower it with the other button right here. This iPad gets heavy after a bit. There we are. All right. Now, coming over here to the actual driver's seat, we're going to be greeted with all the seat controls. And sorry if I'm giving you a little motion sickness here. I just want to make sure we get everything addressed. Of course, starting off from the front, we have the thigh support, which extends the front apparatus to the seat. This little guy adjusts forward and back of the whole bottom seat, as well as height, and a tilt of the seat as well. Pitch of your back is located right over here. Nice and easy. And then we have your 4 ways of lumbar adjustment are right over here. Pretty cool. Now, once you have everything all set, normally in every other car, you would just hit set in 1. But in Porsche, it's a little different. Because this car works on a profile system, what we have to do for that, very nice with the soft closed doors too, not only do we go set in 1, which what that does is essentially saying, key doesn't matter. Whatever key you use, your seats and mirrors and steering wheel will be here. No problems. The thing that arises is when you're using your key. Not only does this car memorize your seats, mirrors, steering wheel, so on and so forth, it memorizes everything, including your AC settings, your navigation settings, your tone settings, the safety settings. Anything that can be changed on this car is saved by also going set, then key. So if I come into the car with the other key, I'll still have my seats and mirrors and stuff here, but everything else won't be there because I have to be using my key. Pretty cool stuff. So let's say your key ran out of battery, but you still got to drive it, of course. You'll still have the basic stuff right over here. Everything else has to be done with your key. Pretty neat stuff. Now, let's say somebody messed up your seat settings and your AC settings, everything. Let's screw it up as much as I can right there. Scooting the seat back, everything like that. All I got to do is just press and hold this little guy. Everything goes back to normal instead of just my seats and mirrors. Pretty neat stuff. Now, I did mention steering wheel is also savable. Right now, I have it kind of like in the most forward and up position for filming. It's a little switch, kind of awkward to show. It's right underneath the steering wheel in the center of the column. You'll feel a little thing, and you just move that wherever you want it to go. Nice and easy. No problems at all. Continuing on from that point, we're going to go ahead and talk about the lighting system. Now, the lighting system of this car is incredibly easy as well. We just keep it in auto. Ain't got to worry about a thing. No problems at all. If we want to actually manually turn off the lights, it's kind of an interesting way to do so. You got to press and hold the parking lights for about 3 seconds, and then it'll give you a signal that says lights have been switched off, and we lose everything right over here. Turn it back on, we just hit auto again, and I frankly just recommend just leaving it there. No problems. Your fog lights are located right over here, and just hit it again to turn it off. No problems. Of course, the key on Porsches is located on the left-hand side to pay homage to the good old Le Mans racing days, where they could, of course, start up the car and put the car into gear at the same time, which is pretty nice. Gave them a slight advantage over the competition. So they still want to follow that tradition. So your key, as we like to call it, the dummy key, is still located on the left-hand side. And, of course, to turn the car on, just place your foot on the brake, make sure the actual key's in your pocket, and just twist this clockwise, and the car turns on nice and easily. No problems at all. Now, turn signals work as you'd expect. Of course, down a little bit gives us 3 ticks for a lane change. Down all the way, we'd keep it on, and then we flick it back up. Of course, keep it back in there. High beams, pull it towards you to flash. Now, if we wanted to turn on the high beams and keep them on, we'd actually press it forward, and that turns us initially into automatic high beams, where it'll come on and also dim itself temporarily if a car starts coming the other way or you start coming up on a car, and that's part of the PDLS Plus headlights that you have over there. They also turn to 15 degrees either direction. Pretty neat stuff. But if I wanted to turn them on manually, I just press it forward again. Aha, now they're on manually, and I just pull it back towards me again to turn it off. Pretty neat little feature there. Really nice. Because a lot of other brands, they only allow you to have automatic or bust. This car still allows you to have control. Great stuff. Now, coming to cruise control. To turn it on or off, first we just hit this little button right over here at the end. Then we agree with that little guy appearing right over here in the dash. That lets us know cruise control is on standby. Then all I got to do is get up to the speed I want to set it at, and then I press the whole stock forward. As you can see, it says set, if I can get the focus, right over there. No problems at all. We also see pressing it forward is an increase in speed, and pulling it towards us is a decrease in speed. If you wanted to turn it off, we just press it again. Or if you brake for whatever reason, it'd be the same thing as going down for cancel. And then press it back up is just if you want to get right back up to the speed where you had it set at. Pretty easy to work cruise control system. It's a little easier to show than it is to explain. But, of course, I don't want to put mileage on the car there. But if you do like a further explanation on anything, once again, just let us know. Left-hand side of the steering wheel, of course, we are greeted with the paddle shifters. Of course, very nice aluminum paddle shifters. Have a very good feel about them on both sides. Really nice and easy. Of course, downshift on left side, upshift on the right side. Really nice and easy. Now, of course, on the actual steering wheel itself, we do have volume control for the radio here. Same thing as the volume control for the radio here. Absolutely no difference. Of course, this little wheel on the left-hand side changes what's on the left-hand side. So right now we have our speed limits there, the trip computer, navigation. Right now we actually have no navigation destination going, but this would actually point us into the direction that we need to go in order to initialize it, and back to our speed limit. I'm going to go ahead and put it back to trip computer. Now, if I want to reset the trip, I just press and hold this little guy in. It'll start flashing, and then on the third one, it resets, or fourth one. There we go, right there. Now, if I enter into something, let's say if I go into speed limit, I didn't mean to get into there, I want to back out, or I'm done in that area, I just hit that little back button, and it scoots me right back out. No problems at all. This little guy just mutes the radio. Nothing else, just nice and easy there. Coming to the right-hand side, we're greeted with very similar controls. Of course, we still have our back button right over here. We have our little scroll wheel, which cycles between everything right over there. I'm trying to get the focus on the dials, so the steering wheel. So first of all, we're going to start off with the map page right over here. Whatever you have going for navigation on the main infotainment system right over here will be broadcasted right over here. So it'll tell you, if it tells you to take a right on the main screen, it'll also tell you to take a right over here. But what's really nice is you can have radio going over here, and you can also have navigation still going right over here. Scrolling down from there, it's hard to find the little wheel. Really disorienting. Right now, this car actually has night vision. Now, that's a feature that's just pretty darn cool. I would love to experience this at nighttime. But right now, this literally just looks for heat signatures at night, and it's also pedestrian and animal detection. So if you start going along a dark country road and a little deer is getting ready to hop across the road there, it'll give you an alert, and I did set that alert on early, so it'll just give you as much advanced warning as possible. To let you know, right now, it's not detecting anybody, but it is cool stuff there. And that's it. So you would see like a little white heat signature. And let's go ahead and if I can drive around so you can actually see a heat signature. Now hopefully the video remains lined up because I'm not looking at the camera. Let's see if I can sneak up on a detail guy in their natural habitat. Oh, you can see him. There he is. You can see him walking around. There he is right there. I could have way too much suspicious fun with this. But it's a really cool little feature there. It's really nice and easy. Great for especially if you live in the city, or even if it's dark country. It really can help you find pedestrians that you may not be able to see. Now, as we cycle through, we have Sports Chrono for your lap timer, G-force meter, and you can set that between immediate G-forces or even like your max G-forces, which we can reset that. Pretty cool. Oops. We have the torque distribution between the front and rear, tire pressures, vehicle information, which of course is going to have, you're going to have your coolant temperature, top oil temperature, oil pressure, and battery voltage, trip information, and back to the map page. Nice and easy. Now this little guy right over here, I have it right now set to disable auto start and stop. Now, as you know, with many modern cars, if you come to a red light, the car shuts off to save you a bit on gas. Of course, Porsche is part of that group right there. And due to 2018 EPA regulations, every car has to shut off at a red light every time you turn off the car. So each time you come in the car, you would have to hit this little button in order to disable that feature. It's just one thing, unfortunately, we can't do anything about. Just right over there. And that's what I programmed it to, that little button right there, instead of having to go through the menu selection. But that's it. Of course, we have answer and hang up phone call once we have your phone actually hooked up. So it's all good there. And of course, we have your Sports Chrono mode selection, drive mode selection. I tell you, it's hard to remember all these words sometimes. So right now we're in normal mode, and that's going to be how it is whenever you turn on the car. If you want to go into sport mode, all I have to do is just give this a little twist, and you'll see some of the things change right over here. This is sport mode, of course. Throttle response sharpens up, exhaust is going to get a little louder, holds RPMs a little higher, shifts a little more aggressively. But since you have Sports Chrono, you do have Sport Plus mode, which is very nice. Of course, everything is just really goes full balls to the wall. Of course, this since it is Sports Chrono, you do have active engine mounts. This is also the mode you're going to enter into to initiate launch control. But we're not going to talk about that for at least 1,000 miles or so. But it's a pretty cool little feature, and we can see there's Sport Plus. Then we also have an individual mode, and we're going to talk about how to customize that in just a little moment here. Now, there's also a little button that not many people know about right in here. Now, whenever you hit this little guy, it's called the Sports Response button. What this allows you to do is it gives you 20 seconds of instant power from the car. It just primes everything ready. Maybe you need to do a major pass on the highway, or you're on a country road and you need to pass somebody that's just going way too slow. You hit this little guy and you get a 20-second countdown timer to initiate it and pass that person without having any turbo lag, any lag of the transmission, nothing. You're just ready to go. Pretty cool little feature. And of course, we hit it again if we want to cancel, but it does give you 20 seconds of that. All right. Windshield wipers. Very easy to operate. No problems at all. Now, I always like to press them down just to make sure they are in the off position. To put them in the auto position, what we do is just go ahead and lift it up 1 tick. Now they're in the auto position. So that means it's going to maintain, of course, the windshield wiper speed for us. And, of course, if they're on or off, just whenever it needs to. This little wheel right over here is a sensitivity for it. So if I feel like it's going a little too fast, a little too crazy for just the misty rain that we have, I turn that down a little bit. Or I feel like it's going too slow, I turn it up. There we go. Nice and easy. To wash the front windshield, which the car is still dirty, luckily, so I'll just go ahead and pull the stock towards us. There we go. Nice and easy. Car is all good, and that's it. Now, if you want to wash the headlights, which I swear these things are powered by like jet cannons or something, we press a little button that's here at the bottom. I mean, look at those things. My goodness. Look at that. That's crazy. But pretty cool little stuff there, especially good. Now, I know it's not going to be a huge thing, but in Florida, we have those love bugs, and they're really nasty. You got to keep them wet, otherwise they eat right into the paint. So that'd be very useful right over there. And, of course, if you want to manually turn on the windshield wipers, you just press it up 1 more tick, and then they're in manual, up all the way, and they go fast manual. That's it. But otherwise, you just keep it in that first tick up. It takes care of everything. No issues. Now, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of the climate control settings. Now I'm going to go ahead and readjust the iPad because it gets a little difficult. So right now we're in auto mode, which is matched on both sides. Now auto maintains the fan speed as well as where the air is coming from for us. All we have to do is just set the temperature. So if I start turning the temperature down, we see the fan speed increase. If I start turning it up, we see it decrease nice and easily there. Now these aren't the only AC controls in the car. So, well, we can see that with the little climate button right over there. But let's go ahead and get started. So, of course, we have temperature control on my side, temperature control on the passenger side, fan speed on the passenger side, or on the driver's side, and fan speed on the passenger side. Now, if you notice, if I hit auto, I can't turn it off. It won't let me. Same thing on this side. Ooh, depth perception gets screwed up. But if I want to disable auto, I got to manually adjust the fan speed, as you see there. And that's it. That's all you got to do. Nice and easy. Now, of course, we have heated seats on the driver's side, ventilated seats on the driver's side. And it's mirrored right over here, ventilated, and then heated right there. No problems at all. AC max for those hot days. And, of course, air circulation is right over here. We have front windshield defroster, which we'll see not much use here in Florida. And then rear windshield defroster is right over here. Pretty great stuff. Of course, we have your hazards and stuff right over there, but that's not too crazy. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to hit this little climate button. Now, hitting the climate button here is the exact same as hitting the climate button right over here. Absolutely no difference. Starting off from the top, of course, air actually chooses manually where you want the air to come from. So I wanted to only come from up above and down my face and not my feet. I could do so. If I want to fully disable the ventilation system, I could do that as well. Or just disable AC and just only have it just to be fans. Also, I'm going to set it for synchronized so it matches both sides together. Pretty great stuff there. Now, I do have the air coming out of this top vent right over here to help cool off the dashboard on these hot Florida days that we have over here. Maybe you won't find the need for it up there, but just to make sure, we do want to keep it as comfortable for you as possible. Now, to control this center vent, a lot of people do just try to grab it and do it. It is electronically controlled, so please don't do that. You can either fully disable by hitting off right over here, or you hit this little guy. This is going to be a little awkward to work with the depth perception through the camera, but all you do is you grab this little guy right over here and just move it wherever you want it to point. See it moving there? It's pretty darn cool. But typically, I just hit diffused, turn it up, and let the car just do all the work for me. Really nice and easy. It just less things to worry about. Pretty cool stuff there. So now I'm going to go ahead and come over here to comfort. This chooses the amount of airflow. Now, since I know this is going a little more up north, I have it set for medium as opposed to high as I would have it in Florida. I can also adjust how it'll blow in the footwell if it goes down there. I can set the AC to be Eco Pro, which in Florida, that's a no-no. But maybe up north, you get a little more used to it. You will notice a little gas mileage increase, which is very nice there. I do have it set for auto air recirculation, so God forbid if there's a forest fire nearby or anything like that. You won't smell the smoke or anything like that, or high levels of pollen, allergens, anything like that. It'll automatically turn on air recirculation for you. Pretty cool stuff. And of course, you do see the proximity sensor. As I get my hand close, everything pops up. I can also control the rear AC from right over here. Once again, if you do lock the rear windows, they lose control of the rear. So you can retain full control up here. We can adjust the temperature. We can turn it off. If they're being a little annoying, you can just turn them off and roast them back there. It's pretty fun little stuff you can do from over here. Right now, we have it set for auto. It takes care of everything once again, just to keep things nice and easy. But let's go ahead and continue on. Now, driving mode, well, I should say, putting the car in park, reverse, neutral drive, is really easy on this car. It's just a little pistol grip configuration. Now, everyone seems to want to grab it from the sides. I really don't recommend that because you end up having your pinky hit the little buttons on the right-hand side. What I recommend is you grab it from the top, like so. There's a little button right over here on my middle finger. I would show you, but it looked like I was doing a rude gesture to you. But we just squeeze that and just pull it all the way towards me for drive. So you can see right there. Squeeze it, push it all the way forward for reverse. Here comes our backup camera with the surround view camera, which is very cool. And I can also change what the camera looks like just by going like that, like that, like that. And I mean, you can't have a rear view camera without a rear camera washer. I mean, I think that's illegal. But you can actually press and hold that little guy. And I think that's just the coolest thing ever. A washer for your rear camera. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen. So, now that's that. And of course, when we're in drive though, if I push the gear selector over to the left, I enter manual mode. And this does follow suit with a sequential transmission. So it follows the G load of the car when you're accelerating. So you pull this towards you to upshift, like the whole gear selector towards you to upshift, and you press it forward to downshift. Same thing as pulling the paddle on left and right. Really easy stuff. Now the car will not upshift for you. It will downshift to prevent a stall, but it will not upshift for you. That's one thing to keep in mind. If you hear those revs climb a little too high and they ain't upshifting, just kick it back over and you'll be fine, no problems. To put it back into park, we just hit P right there and we see we're back in park. No problems at all. Really nice and easy. Of course, our electronic parking brake is right over here. Works just like a handbrake. You lift it up to engage it, like that, then press it down with your foot on the brake to disengage it. That's it. No problems. So let's go ahead and continue on. Before we get fully into the infotainment system, we're going to go ahead and go up here. Okay, let's see if I can angle the camera right. Now I control the moonroof. The actual shades are these two little buggers right here. If I press this forward, the moonroof closes. See, I'm just pressing it forward like that. If I want the back one to close, I press it back. It's just literally wherever you want it to go. If I want to open back up, I press this one back. Now if I want the glass to open, since the glass only opens on the front one, I just push it wherever I want it to go. So I just push it back. There it goes. I want it to close because it is hot out there. Just press it forward again. And if I want to tilt up, I just press it up. And then if I want to go back down, I pull it down. That's it. Really nice and easy. Now, right over here on the right-hand side, this is the manual way to turn on your park distance control, or your camera systems right there. This little guy is if you're going through a car wash and it's beeping at you like crazy and it just won't stop, that temporarily disables the sound, and of course the sensor's right there. You don't want to make sure you turn that back off. So the light on, the system for safety is off. One thing to keep in mind there. That's going to be a little confusing on a few different aspects there. We have a reading light for the right-hand side, reading light for the left-hand side, and of course the main light right over there. Pretty cool stuff. We then have your garage door openers are right over here. I do have another video that's already out. If you, I will link that most likely in the description down below for you on how to hook up your garage doors. It can be a little iffy. If you have any questions, let me know. It's a little interesting. It is primarily done into the infotainment system as opposed to just using the HomeLink system right up here. So, now we're done with up there. We're just going to mention a few more little things right down over here. We can modify our suspension settings between a little bit stiff or stiffest. It's right over there. We also have our traction control settings right over here. So if I press and hold that for a few moments. There we go. We get the little warning to tell us our Porsche stability management is off. And I just turned it back on right there. That's it. Now, coming into the infotainment, we're going to go ahead and start right off the bat with the home screen. Now the home screen is right over here. As the top little guy looks almost like there's a mahjong game or something like that. Almost looks like that little guy right there. It just brings us obviously to a home page. Now this is all customizable, but of course, for the sake of time for the video, we're not going to talk about it too much on how to customize it, but it's pretty darn easy. All we have to do is just hit option and we can just do what we need to do. Not an issue at all. Now, next station, previous station, if we want to quickly enter a destination, if we want to control the center van, if we want to control your phone, want to adjust the chassis, we want to adjust volume settings or display park distance control, it's just all right here. That's it. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about navigation. Navigation on this car is actually incredibly easy to operate. It really is. If you want to enter in a destination, well, lo and behold, here's the destination guy right over there. Man, I'll tell you, you think you get used to the depth perception through this camera. You don't. There it is. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to type in the dealership address, which is 5145 Southwest. Okay, I got to look at the screen. There we go. College. Aha, there it is. So I just hit that little guy, and I just hit Start Route Guidance, and I'm on my way. That's it.
The route is being calculated.
I get the little voice prompt letting me know where we're going to go, and holy cow, look how far we had to go. And then, of course, the stop guidance, lo and behold, it's incredibly easy. I get my hand close, and I hit stop. It's just as simple as that. It really is. I did already set the navigation settings for you to be in perspective. Maybe some people prefer northern view, or you don't like the fastest route settings. Once again, it's all adjustable just by simply hitting option and choose the settings you want to adjust for it, which pop up right there. No problems at all. And then, of course, we just hit back to get out of all that. Of course, we do have traffic information. Right now, we're still waiting for PCC to be set up. Not a problem at all. And, of course, favor if you want to save your home address or anything like that. It's up to you. I didn't want to set that for you. Maybe you want to keep things a little private. Not a problem there. Going to go ahead and go back to map. But that's navigation in a nutshell. It is incredibly easy. If you wanted to change how far you're zoomed in, just, of course, give this little dial right over here a twist or treat it like a cell phone, pinch. Pretty easy. But let's go ahead and talk about radio. Now, radio is incredibly easy to operate as well. It can be done either by hitting media right over there, or lo and behold, media right over there, where that's lit up red. So whenever you come over to it and hit media, it brings it back to last source of audio you're listening to. In this case, satellite radio. Now, if I wanted to change the source of the audio, lo and behold, all I got to do is just hit source right over here. And there we go. Now I can choose what source of audio I want to listen to. Or I can just hit this little guy right over here. Once again, it's the same exact function. That's it. Or otherwise, I can just hit next station, previous station. If I wanted to save my favorites, I can just hit the little star symbol. Then it'll pop up on my favorites list right over here. I can see the list of all the stations that are coming in right now. So here's satellite radio. Here's everything. No problems at all. I want to change the source of audio and go to FM. It's the same exact thing. If I want to see all my favorite stations, I can favorite it, then come right over here. I can see the list of all the stations that right now in my area are coming at the best reception. So if I want to come right over here and listen to some classic rock or something, I know it's 95.5. There it is. There we go. Nice and easy that I could favorite it, and we'll be good to go. But let's say you don't see your station on this list. Now, of course, right now I'm out in the middle of our field over here in our parking lot, so everything is coming in. But let's say I wanted to listen to 95.5 and it wasn't coming in. Well, this is what I can do is I can come over here to tune, hit this little guy, and I can go 95.5. There we go. And now I'm listening to it really nice and easily. Or I can go back to the little dial and just treat it like a good old-fashioned radio dial. And just twist this and go to wherever I need to go. Once again, 10 different ways to do everything. Really is easy on this car. Just find the way that you prefer and stick with it. Telephone. Now, telephone. To hook it up, give me a call. Each phone's a little different. Of course, you have an iPhone or an Android. I personally have an Android, but I can walk you through iPhones, Windows Phone, Google Pixels, anything like that. So each phone's a little different, but all you got to do is just go into the settings on your phone, then right on Bluetooth, then you hit this little guy right over here, and it'll find your phone. No problem. That's it. But you would see calls are your most recent calls, including missed and answered. Favorites are, you can set your favorites. You can check your contacts right over here. Androids are able to receive text messages while driving. And that's it. Really nice and easy. Now, coming to car. Oops, there we go. Car is a place you can come to actually adjust all the driving mode settings of your car. Once again, if we wanted to customize things, maybe you like Sport Plus, but you don't like how harsh the suspension gets, well, there you go. Come right over here and say no more. We'll get it all situated. Now, of course, right now we have the modes. We have normal, Sport, Sport Plus, and individual. And then we have the chassis settings right over here. So what I can do is I can hit Sport Plus, but I don't want the suspension to be stiff. I want it to be nice and normal. There we go. Now, how do I save it to my individual drive mode right over here? Well, you see that little IND guy right over here? If I hit that, now it's saved as individual. So anytime I go to IND, it goes to my settings, no problem. Pretty cool little feature, honestly, if I do say so myself. Now, auto start and stop is disabled, but of course we can use our steering wheel button right there to turn it on or off. Pretty cool little feature there. Our spoiler is activated automatically, of course, at speed. Or if you want to self-activate it, you just press and hold that little button so the operation is complete. You can see right there. And then to lower it back down. That's it. Now it's lowered all the way down. No problems at all. Now, this is another page we can come to actually adjust setting. Oh, there we go. As we can see, this is a page we're going to come to actually do our massage seat settings. Aha. Now, this is very nice. I've sat in a lot of luxury cars. So far, this seems to be the best massage seat function I've felt out of the S-Class, the 7 Series, and, of course, the Panamera. I haven't tried an A8 yet, but maybe soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and choose shoulder massage, and I set the strength to maximum, and then we're good to go. We also see this is where we can come to adjust our rear shade, which right now I do have it up, and I'm going to go ahead and lower it back down. There we go. And I'll raise it back up. There we are. I can also adjust the massage seat function for the right-hand side. I can also adjust all the vehicle settings right over here. Once again, I did all that for you, but if you feel like something's not right or you're just going through and maybe you want us to go walk through it together, not a problem. Give me a call. We'll be able to get it all handled for you. Not a problem at all. Going to get my hand close. I can adjust my trip computers right over here. Here's some basic information. I can scroll through. Pretty cool stuff. Sports Chrono. Here where you can monitor your, you can set the road lap. You can actually start the lap timer. Pretty easy stuff there. Realistically, not many people are going to be using this, but if you do, let me know. I'd love to see a Panamera on the track. That'd be pretty darn cool. We already talked about climate information, so we're going to skip past that. Apps. We ain't got to worry about that because Porsche Car Connect hasn't been set up quite yet. Assist systems. Now, this car does have lane change assist, which is Porsche's way of calling blind spot detection. I'm going to self-activate it there. See it right there. That lets you know if somebody is approaching in your blind spot. You can see it right over there with a nice little red light. Our night view assist is turned on. Our surrounding assist is all turned on. Everything in the car is in its safest mode. As long as it's all lit up, you're nice and safe. You can also, once again, manually activate your park assist, which is there, or right over here. No difference. Which is your cameras, of course. We can adjust our sound. Now, one thing I'm a sucker for in Porsche, and I really do wish more manufacturers do this. Porsche allows you to customize the equalizer for each source of audio. Thank goodness. Satellite radio, you got to have the treble lower than it would be if you're listening to FM. At least that's my opinion on it. Porsche allows you to do that. Thank goodness. So if you're adjusting the equalizer and you're like, man, it doesn't sound like I had it as I have it on FM. You got to adjust it for each source of audio. Very nice. So FM, AM, satellite, Bluetooth, CD, all have a different equalizer. I did adjust it for FM, AM, and satellite. I haven't adjusted for Bluetooth yet. Of course, each cell phone's a little different. Let me know. I'll be happy to help you out there. No problems at all. And of course, if we come right over here to set, once again, these are all the settings that I already did set for you, so we ain't got to really worry about a thing. It's no problems at all. There we go. But if you do have any questions on anything so far, please let me know. Otherwise, that's going to mainly conclude this video. Now, we are going to hop in the back seat just really quickly over here, just so I can give you a little walk around back there. But it's just going to be more or less the same as we saw in the front seat. This car does have the preparation for the rear entertainment, as we can see by this little bugger right over here. Allows you to buy the rear screens, just plug it in, no problems at all. We do have the rear knee vents right there. As we do see, I do have control of everything. It's pretty nice and easy to operate. Everything just lit up there. I can control my media. I control the climate, the seat. So if I want to adjust the seat heat balance and navigation, I can see little basic information there. Pretty cool stuff. But as you can see, you do get a lot of functions back here. So if you do have little ones that are going to be sitting in the back, it is very important to make sure you disable those that rear window so they can't just suddenly start navigation on you. Of course, we do have manual operation for the heated seats here, AC controls, shade control right back here, as well as moonroof control. All right. Well, that will conclude this video. Once again, Mr. and Mrs. Boyle, congratulations on your new Panamera. I look forward to hearing from you guys and on your driving adventures. But if you do have any questions, give me a call. I want to help you out throughout this journey. Other than that, we hope to hear from you soon, and have a great day. Bye.